brief note on rites of passage. William Golding. Now, William Golding is best known for his Lord of the Flies, and I think I have a few notes on the blog. Subscribe, like, comment, share. By the way, on his masterpiece, Lord of the Flies, which is among the top 100 best books of the last century, probably surely some will include it on lists of best works of all time. Rites of Passage is a Booker Prize winner, so it's up there with a very good books. I'm not sure it's on the top 1,000 novels everyone must read list if we think of an extended, bigger number. But it is a remarkable read. I don't know if I have one conclusion to extract from it, as we have from Lord of the Flies. When asked in an interview, William Golding mentioned a few things why there are no girls, because he was asked by the interviewer because he has been growing up with, if I remember correctly, this part of the episode, with boys, and he knew about boys better than with girls, and then boys and girls sex will have to pop up his head, so there will be another story there. But the main thing was the conclusion. I wanted to show that if you don't have rules, you have nothing. So I was left with this very interesting thing, which is important in our world of today, large scale, small scale here. I see quite often what happens with the breakdown of rules, when people send their fucking kids on the streets. Here is gated community and they don't give a fuck, and they write about it in emails. Gated community. I thought I could send my kids out on the street, and why that happened? Well, because you don't care, because you don't give a damn about the rest, because you don't respect others, the rules, and so on. So let me not go down that path and try and return to Rites of Passage, of which I'm supposed to say a few things because I said so. I said I speak about the Rites of Passage. So we have this ship, and I think the main story there, which grabs the attention from all, is the Reverend. There's a Reverend on the ship, and he has a conflict with the captain. The captain is the dictator, the tyrant on the ship in the sea. He has the power to do everything and anything he wants. I guess today, more or less, but especially so, let's say 200 years ago, when we have the time frame of the ship going to the antipodes, to Australia presumably. And so the captain doesn't like clergy. That's because we learn at one point he is the son of a lord, but a bastard. He's sent by his father to another place. His mother is made to marry this clergy, who raises him as his son, even if it's, let's say, stepson. And then he's sent off to the seas to join the navy. And he, instead of resenting his biological father, who has done that to him, and he rejected, pushed him away, eventually the biological father would interfere, and that's why he has the position of captain, because of influence pressure. But he hates clergy. All right, so he's pushing this clergy very much, insults him, humiliates him. The clergy writes to his sister, and he is sharing the experience, the debasement he felt, the efforts to try and save his honor cloth, because he's also represented the church there, and he's trying to push back, only to be pushed again. Now, at one point, he goes to. There's also this class distinction. The thing in the book is there's a difference between the honorable, noble, well, higher class passengers and the rest, immigrants and hoi polloi. The clergy goes to, priest goes to that lower class area. He drinks with them to be kind and to polite and mix with them. But he's not used with him, so he's intoxicated. And then he makes a fool of himself. He is banished by all groups, stays in his cabin, and spoiler alert, yeah, why not? I mean, as far as I can tell, there are not many who watch these notes, and those who watch don't come to the end of the note. So chances are we have very few, if anybody, still watching. And then if we count, you watch this far, and then 1-2 people, and then you go to the extent of taking rites of passage, and you'll be upset. Plus, you can switch off now. Okay, so spoiler alert, because I need to say this. I'm launched on this path. The boat has sailed. The ship has sailed. So he dies of his own will, in a way, in his cabin. He isolates himself from the world. But we learn with time that there's more. There's also homosexuality. What did they call it? Buggery, they called it at that time. So the priest performed fellatio on one of the sailors, and then the sailor is called upstairs, and he doesn't talk, or he threatens in a way that he will create a scandal. When the captain and some of those present in sort of a court to see what happened with the priest and why was he abused, and tell me about the buggery. Who was, you mean officers? So with that, the captain and some others realized that this fellow is threatening. I mean, if you push me, I will talk, and then everybody will be tainted, will be covered in shame. Because at that time, it wasn't just dishonorable and, I don't know, anathema, sinful, and it was illegal. And remember one of the famous cases of, or infamous in terms of what they did to people. Oscar Wilde, then Alan Turing committed suicide after they pushed him to chemical castration. Anyway, so there was that. The many facets in this story. So I've written on the blog a note, which is, in my precious handwriting. So if you're interested, you can find something also more there.